jumping into it here. If at any point you guys can't hear me, and you might people in the back there, give me a thumbs up or something like that to tell me to talk louder. Louder? Yeah? No? Okay. Sounds good. So we'll jump into it. What I want to start with is just, I'm going to read you a super simple quote from pastor, evangelist guy. His name is Paul Washer. He says, "The gospel does not call us to receive Christ as an addition to our life, but as our life." And that quote pretty accurately frames kind of what I'm hoping we can get at tonight. As the school year starts, we're all going to have lots and lots and lots of things, as much as any time in our lives, grabbing for our identities. They will be competing for our identities and calling for us to place our identities there. Things like different clubs, sports, our majors, or just academics in general. They're all going to be competing to grab a hold of our identities. And the temptation will be, during this time especially, to have Christ just be an addition to our life. We'll have all these identities that we have, but Christ will be an addition to our life, and not as our life, not as our central identity. So with that being said, I think that's just what I want to get at a little bit tonight and unpack through Scripture, is what it looks like to have our full identity in Christ. So the Scripture we're going to use is Galatians chapter 4, verses 1 through 7. So if you have your Bibles, you can go ahead and turn there. It's Galatians 4, 1 through 7. Before I read it, I'm going to try to give a little bit of context. The context is important for this passage. So the author Paul is writing to the Galatian people. They are of Jewish descent, and they have spent their entire existence with their identity in keeping the law. That's where their identity is rooted, in upholding and keeping the law. So then, fast forward, and now Jesus comes on the scene. We're going to talk about this a lot later, and unpack a lot more, I promise. But Jesus comes on the scene, and they are redeemed, and they are freed, and they no longer are enslaved to the law. And as Paul writes this letter, however, the Galatian people have started to shift back and kind of going back to where they're comfortable, where their identity was always rooted in the past, and that's this enslavement to the law. So that's kind of the context that Paul is writing here. He's trying to steer them back to the freedom that's found in Christ and the freedom that they have to be in a relationship with the Father. So that may not make sense yet, but we're going to unpack this scripture a lot. I just want to provide a little bit of context for that. So with that, we're going to jump in and read it. Galatians chapter 4, and we'll start in verse 1. If I can get there. So Paul writes, "I mean that the heir, as long as he is a child, is no different from a slave, though he is the owner of everything. But he is under guardians and managers until the date set by his father. In the same way, we also, when we were children, were enslaved to the elementary principles of the world. But when the fullness of time had come, God sent forth his Son, born of a woman, born under the law, to redeem those who were under the law, so that we might receive adoption as sons. And because you are sons, God has sent the Spirit of his Son into our hearts, crying, Abba, Father. So you are no longer a slave, but a son. And if a son, then an heir through God." So that's the passage we're going to work out of tonight. And to just kind of start, I want to start with the building blocks, because you might be thinking, okay, the Galatians were enslaved by the law, they were freed, and they're going back to enslavement to the law, but why the law in the first place? Why did this even exist? And I wish I could get all the way into it tonight, but I can't. But a really simple way to put it is, man was created in a perfect state. He was created to exist in a relationship with the Father, who was a completely holy God. However, man allowed sin to enter into our lives in what is known as the fall. And again, you can read so much more about this in Genesis chapters 1 through 3. It's a great place to start, and it's a really complex subject. But that's in essence, man had sin enter his life, and now, because of sin, human beings cannot exist in relationship with a completely holy God as a completely unholy people. If that makes sense. A holy God, unholy people, and they are not compatible at this point. that's not God's plan for the world. So, God created the law. The law was a guide. You can read all about the Israelites receiving the law in the book of Exodus. Again, these are all great places to go and spend time studying this. I wish I could dive into it completely tonight, but we just don't have time. So, God created the law as a way for human beings to still exist in relationship with the Father, should they be able to keep it. The problem was we couldn't because of sin in our life. So there's a lot more on that later, but coming back to this scripture, coming back to the book of Galatians here, I want to read verses 1 through 5 again, and then we're going to unpack those specific verses. Paul writes, I mean that the heir, as long as he is a child, is no different from a slave, though he is owner of everything, but he is under guardians and managers until the date set by his father. In the same way, we also, when we were children, were enslaved to the elementary principles of the world. But when the fullness of the time had come, God sent forth his Son, born of woman, born under the law, to redeem those who were under the law. So, Paul is comparing he's making this comparison for the purpose of steering the Galatians back towards freedom in Christ, back towards not being enslaved in the law, which is the direction that they want to shift. And in order to understand the comparison Paul's making, we got to understand a little bit of Hebrew tradition. So just bear with me, and we'll try and make it. It's a little bit complex, but bear with me a little bit. We'll try and make it as simple as possible. So the tradition was that the oldest son would inherit the land or the estate of the father. The estate being the land, the property, the wealth, all of that. And though even as a young child, this son would be set apart as the one who was going to inherit all that, they really didn't have any special rights until the time appointed by the father. Until the time appointed by the father when the son was going to become an adult and receive his right to the inheritance. So, Paul is making that comparison to the Galatians. He's saying, listen, you guys were like children once. You had no right to the inheritance. You were as slaves. The children of the father's estate were the same as servants, the same as slaves that the text is getting at. They had the same rights because until they stepped into the time appointed by the father where they received their right to the inheritance. So he's saying, listen, that was what you guys were. You guys were children. You guys were not to the time set forth by the Father to step into the inheritance. But now, through the redemptive work of Jesus Christ, you guys have reached the time the appointed time set forth by the Father, and you guys are no longer slaves to the law, but have stepped into your identity as heirs. Now, the Galatian church, they just want to keep going back. They want to keep going back to how they were as slaves. But Paul is saying we can exist in a relationship with the Father. Which brings us to the second point. We can now walk as Jesus walked. If you look in verses 6 and 7, it says, and because you are sons, God has sent the Spirit of his Son into our hearts, crying, Abba, Father. So you are no longer a slave, but a son. And if a son, then an heir through God. God has sent the Spirit of his Son, Paul says, to dwell within us so that we can have the Father-Son relationship with God. We can call God Father because the Son dwells within us. Jesus Christ is the Son of God. And through his work on the cross, he dwells within us. His Spirit is within us, which allows us to have that relationship with the Father. As you see in verse 5, it says, to redeem those who are under the law. He came to redeem, and that's through the reason that we are able to have him dwell inside of us, to have that relationship with the Father, is because of the work that Jesus did on the cross, the redemptive work heard me reference the redemptive work that he did on the cross. Now, if we look at how that impacts our lives, Romans chapter 6, verse 23 says that the wages of sin is death. And earlier in Romans, in chapter 3, verse 23, it says that all men have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. That means that we all are under the death penalty. We all have the death sentence. That's what we deserve. But through the work of Christ on the cross, through the fact that he died, he rose, and his Spirit dwells within us, we are able to call out Abba, Father. In this culture at this time, in the States, it wasn't illegal for servants or anybody other than legitimate sons to call the head of the estate Abba. What Paul is writing here, the significance of it is that we are called legitimate sons now through the work of Christ. Through Christ dwelling in us, we are legitimate sons, able to call out Abba, Father. Galatians 2, verse 20, I want to take a second to look at what this means for us. How do we respond to this miracle that Christ died on the cross for us? And I would contend that we recognize that Jesus died for us and we commit our lives to following him. Going to Galatians 2, verse 20, it says, I have been crucified with Christ, and it is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. We're called to lay down our lives. And whether you're here and this is your first time hearing any of this, your first time hearing anything about Christianity or the gospel or anything like that, or you're here and you've been a Christian for your entire life, that's what our call is to lay down our lives, to be crucified with Christ, and to allow Christ to live in us so that we can step into our identity as heirs or children of God. And my final point is that while thousands and thousands of things throughout our lives are going to compete for our identity, we must resist placing our identity in any of those things and embrace placing our identity in the fact that we are children of God. Verse 7, one more time, says, so you are no longer a slave. And the Galatian church, what he's talking about here is the Galatian church was enslaved to the law. But for many of us here, we might be enslaved to completely different things. We might have our identity in sports. We might have our identity in music or theater. We might have our identity in being involved in a ton of different things. We might have our identity in being a great student, being the chair of every single student organization that exists at Concordia. Maybe we have our identity in parties and having a great social life. No matter what we are enslaved to, God calls us to freedom. He calls us to having our identity placed in the fact that we are his heir. We are his children. And it's through the finished work of Jesus Christ on the cross that we are able to lay down our lives and take up that new identity. And I can tell you guys with 100% confidence that having your full and complete identity in Christ Jesus is so much better than anything else. And I can say this with complete confidence because I have had my identity in so many other things. I had a long time in my life where my identity was in parties. It was in getting to the next weekend so I could be at the next party. It was in having a great social life. And I've had my identity in Christ. And the latter is so, so much better. And I just want to conclude with this. Again, if you're here and you've never heard any of this before, this is all new to you. The fact that there was this creation story where man had sin enter the picture and humans have fallen and were separated from God, and that Jesus Christ came to restore and redeem our relationship with the Father, and that we can have a relationship with the Father through confessing with our mouth and believing in our hearts. If that's all new to you guys, or anybody here, I would contend and plead with you guys to put your hope and trust in that. All you have to do is confess with your mouth and believe in your heart. Lay down your life and surrender it to him. And if you're here and you've been, like I said, a Christian for a while, maybe a couple years. It doesn't matter if you've been a Christian but you haven't quite fully surrendered your entire life. There's things that you're holding on to, pieces of your identity that you're holding on to, and not fully embracing your identity as a child of God. Lay it at the foot of the cross. We can surrender it all. Because the fact is, God wants to dwell within us. He wants to know us personally. He wants to have a relationship with us. He wants us to be able to call him Abba, Father. We can only do that through Christ living in us, through us sacrificing and laying aside our entire lives, every part of our identity, and taking up our identity as a child of God. So if you fit into either of those groups, we're going to move into another set of worship and then a time of prayer and discussion. Find somebody to pray with. If you want to believe in Jesus Christ for the first time, find somebody to pray with. If you want to surrender your entire life for the first time, find somebody to pray with. You can pray with me, you can pray with any of the leaders around here, but find somebody to pray with. It doesn't matter if it's during the worship set or at the end during the time of prayer or discussion, or maybe it's 2 hours later tonight. Find somebody to pray with. So with that, I'm going to close in prayer.